Whether you're getting into your first Airbnb or already fair up it with 3 to 4 properties under your belt, I don't care if you're doing arbitrage or buying outright, you are not going to want to miss this video on how to use business credit to get your first Airbnb. A step-by-step playbook for funding your first short-term rental using business credit. Without touching your personal score, your personal savings, or your personal debt-to-income ratio, even without touching your utilization, this is the gap-funded method. Build business credit, establish a separate credit file that reports to business bureaus, get funded, access vendor credit and 0% intro APR business cards. We're seeing 150 grand maximum on that first run, but as you build and increase those limits running your business, that's what this video is all about, to build that extended line that keeps revolving as you get into new joints. Launch your Airbnb, furnish and operate your first short-term rental on a business credit. Now, what business credit actually is. Most people are familiar with personal credit. That's the score that runs through TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. What fewer people realize is that there's this parallel credit system built specifically for businesses. Business credit runs through Equifax Business, Experian Business, and importantly, Dun and Bradstreet, or DNB. Of these, Dun and Bradstreet is the bureau that most vendors and credit issuers check first when deciding whether to extend credit to a business, even if it's brand new. So once your business has its own credit file, any debt used to furnish and fund a property reports to the business, not to you personally. That distinction is everything here. It means you can accumulate real spending power for your short-term rental without adding to your personal debt load, without affecting the debt to income ratio or even the utilization that lenders use to evaluate you for primary lending on your personal file like a mortgage. And it also works alongside DSCR loans. So this is the core insight behind the gap funded approach. Use the business credit system the way sophisticated investors do to separate your personal financial profile from your real estate activity and build a funding engine that scales with each property. So, quick overview of personal versus business credit. Personal is going to be TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, tied to your SSN and personal score. Your business bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and Dun and Bradstreet, are tied to your EIN, which is like your SSN for your business. The key benefit, business debt stays off your personal report and protecting your DTI and utilization. So setting up your business credit profile. This is step one. Before any vendor or card issuer will extend credit to your business, they need to verify that a real legitimate business entity exists. And that means getting the foundational pieces in place first and doing it correctly from the start. So go form a LLC, takes a few days. Make sure you get your EIN, the legal and tax identity of your business. Every subsequent step depends on it. You're going to need your business contact info consistent across everywhere online. So set up a dedicated business phone number, business email address, and a basic business website. These are the signals Dun and Bradstreet and card issuers use to verify legitimacy. Get a free DUNS number. Your DUNS number is your actual business credit file with Dun and Bradstreet, the bureau most vendors check first. It's free to obtain and it's the cornerstone of your business credit identity. Open Experian Business profile, set up your Experian Business profile so you can monitor your file as it grows and catch any errors or discrepancies early before they affect your approvals. Now, every link for this first step, LLC formation, DUNS number registration, and Experian Business, it's available in the toolkit. So go to Gap Funded's tool-kit. Now, we are ready to actually go and get fair up it. Once your business credit file is established, there are two primary lanes for accessing real spending power. Most investors use both in combination to maximize their available capital for furnishing and launching a short-term rental. Lane one is your vendor trade lines and store credit. So real accounts with vendors and retailers that extend credit directly to the business. The approval bar is significantly lower than a traditional bank card, making this the ideal starting point for a new business credit file. These accounts report to the business bureaus and help build your file quickly. Lane two, this is the funding piece. So 0% intro APR business cards, we go and stack 4 or 5 in the right sequence within a 5-minute window. Business credit cards with those intro periods give you real spending power for furniture, appliances, and linens with zero interest during that intro period. And this is the primary tool for furnishing a property without carrying interest, as well as those down payments on the DSCR loan. The move most people miss: once a card has been used and paid down, call the issuer and request a credit limit increase. Done consistently across multiple cards, this builds a larger 0% stack and essentially ready to deploy in the next property, and you're getting yourself ready for larger limits on the next run. Instead of starting from zero every single time, the goal is a compounding funding engine, not a one-time transaction. So a card management tool for tracking multiple cards and issuers across your portfolio is included in the toolkit as well. It'll show you expiry dates, when you've got to spend to get your cash back rewards, travel points, the rest. Take your family on a free holiday if you do this correctly. So, what to actually spend it on? Getting funded is only half the equation. The other half is spending strategically in a way that both launches the property and continues building the business credit file for easier funding on the next deal. So furniture and appliances, obviously, utilities and services, and then rental arbitrage leases is a great way to build the spending power and the credit file as well. So the goal isn't just spending, it's spending in a way that builds the business credit file for an easier time funding the next property. And eventually down the line, as this starts to build and build, your portfolio is bringing in consistent revenue, you're going to open yourself up to actual business funding options like business lines of credit. So your path to the first Airbnb, the full playbook comes down to your 4 sequential moves. Set up the entity, build the credit file, get funded through vendor credit and 0% intro cards, and use that capital to furnish and launch your first Airbnb without draining personal savings or touching your personal credit profile. I will mention you want to be at least at a 700 credit score to make this happen. If you're sitting a bit low, it could be due to overutilized credit cards. We can do debt consolidation to rapidly get you in a position to get started here. Now, as a sequence, set up the entity, form the LLC, EIN, add your contact info across the web, build the file, get your Duns and Experian Business profile set up, go and get funded, do the stack, run it, launch it. Takes 5 to 10 days for them to show up. And then launch your Airbnb, furnish unit, and begin hosting. I'm Mick Wadley. Let's go close something. If you enjoyed this video, we got plenty more to come. Subscribe below, hit the toolkit, get all of those links you need, check it out, get yourself set up, and then book a call. Worst case scenario, you walk away with a game plan and the steps to actually position yourself for this play.